In this video, we'll take a look at the Pure plugin range from Sonible, featuring their simple AI plugins for music creators, including Pure Limit, Pure Comp, and Pure Verb. If you prefer a simple workflow that still gives you fast and high quality results, then perhaps these little guys are just what you're looking for. Before we get to the review, I should mention I'm looking to interview Alex Vankhammer. If you have any questions you'd like to ask Alex regarding Sonible plugins or the future of AI, let me know in the comments below. As ever, remember to like and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss a future video. Let's start with Pure Limit. I'm going to start at the chorus and we're going to let it do its thing. Cool, I think I like the R&B preset the best. Get a range of different styles here for this particular limiter. We've also got different styles of limiting. So we've got neutral, hard, and soft. So those are just really down to taste. Let's have a look. So I actually think I like the soft in this case. What are the controls? Well, this is the gain. So all that's doing is it's adding more gain and pushing the song into the limiter. And you would have seen on the GUI there that it shows the peaks. Let me play that again. So it's giving you some really good information there. One kind of notable part of this plugin is the inflate. For those who don't know, what it's doing is pretty similar to what would happen if you had a separate copy of the mix bus and you were crushing it. So parallel processing, in other words. Basically, everything under the threshold, it's gently raising it up in level as it gets louder. And then, of course, it hits the limiter and it cuts it off. The green trace is basically normal limiting. So it gets up to a high level and then it flattens out. So it won't let anything past that point, which is -1 dBFS. Whereas when we have the inflate activated and set on full, you can see it's actually raising the level of everything that's under this threshold. So that's what that's doing. Now I should say that behind the settings here, you can adjust the limiter threshold. I honestly wouldn't touch it. I would leave it at -1. That's a pretty good setting for anything that's going to a streaming platform. With the inflate, what you could do is you could push that up in the choruses to make the choruses a bit more dense. Next, we have Pure Comp. Just get a bit of a loop happening here. That's really pumping there. How does it sound in context? I actually like how that feels in the context of the mix. So similar thing to what we had before, we've got an AI detection. Instead though, we've got a bunch of different instruments. So in this case, maybe I want to select drums and see what it's got. So with this compression control, what you're doing is you're lowering the threshold, and you can see that in the graphic. That's how that's working. And then I've enabled it to auto gain after learning. So what I've got here is the auto gain control. If I switch that off, as I adjust the compression, it's trying to put it in a place where we're not affected or influenced, I should say, by the loudness. So that's a really cool feature to have, especially on such a small plugin. One thing to note about Pure Comp is that it's not going to kill your transients. And in fact, the clarity control tends to emphasize these even more. Part of that is because it's adding a little bit of a gentle bell shape boost in the top end. Now with this, you get clean, mixed, and dirty. Mixed and dirty have some inflation built in. We're getting a little bit of an increase in level before it then hits the point at which it starts to compress. Let's try the different styles. Now I don't like that, but what does it sound like when it's in the mix?
That's where I wanna be. 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 That's where I wanna.
Quite like that. Let's boost up the clarity and see what that sounds like. Maybe I'll choose a different section.
I've been before, 3 times before, I've been before, 3 times before, I've been before, 3 times before.
Maybe a little bit of that's pretty good. I'm going to leave that where it is and choose another instrument. Let's try it on the intro. Okay, and I'm going to select vocals and we'll do it as a rap. It's not quite a rap though.
Do the test and a one for the speaker in the studio on the mic. Tonight I'm gonna do it all right, baby. And here we go. A freestyle for your ass, freestyle right now. Do the test and a one for the speaker in the studio on the mic. Tonight I'm gonna do it all right, baby. Here we go.
I like what that's doing. Now, one thing to note with this particular thing is if you disagree with the auto gain, what you can do is adjust the offset. So that's handy. Now, it's worth mentioning that both Pure Comp and Pure Limit have built-in oversampling to reduce audible aliasing. To me, that's a very important thing to have. It means that you're not introducing frequencies that weren't in the original audio. Lastly, we've got Pure Verb. We've got a bunch of different instrument presets, not as many as the previous two, but more than enough. And to be honest, most times Universal's pretty bang on. Like you don't have to necessarily go to these different profiles, but they're there if you want them. Size, that speaks for itself. It changes the room size. Right here, we've got synthetic. So I can hear that's a bit like a non-linear type of reverb, bit of gating happening. I would probably want a little bit of that. We've also got these different modes here. So we've got normal, infinite, and reverse and bounce. Normal is what you've just been hearing. Infinite is an infinite reverb, so it's a very long tail. I think what we're missing there, if I'm honest, is a kill switch for the infinite. Maybe they'll implement that. The reverse. So So it's a typical reverse reverb, which you can print to another track and then move it forward on the timeline so that it preempts each one of those strums. So that's reverse reverb. And then lastly, we've got bounce. Now, bounce is, to me, it sounds like a ping pong delay feeding a reverb. See what you think. So in context,
To you. Through the wind and the rain, through hell or high water, I'm in pursuit of music that turns me on. Bass in the chest, melodies that soothe my soul, and beats that let me know that I've been blessed. I can be the only one that tells you. I can be the only one that tells you. I can be the only one that brings it to you. Yeah, yeah.
so it needs a little bit of finessing. I've just thrown all the effects that I had on there back in. I really like it. It's got a cool vibe to it, especially the bounce, but I can see uses for each of those different modes. So there you have it. That's the Pure series from Sonible, featuring bite-sized AI plugins that don't overload you with complicated settings, allowing you to get straight to the heart of the matter. I'll leave some links in the description. Thank you for watching and happy mixing. Oh, and if you're still watching, remember to submit some questions for Alex. Bye!